Hi, Ralph and Lonnie here for Planetary Calendar. We're going to be looking at the forecast for September 2025. And you could start us off with a few lines of the overview for the whole month.
Make sure you read the entire forecast for the month or overview because this is a busy one. We're going to have two eclipses, 7th and the 21st. So 2 eclipses in the same month. Boom, okay? Also, you got a fast-moving Mercury's going on. You got planets changing sign. Saturn and Mercury do that in the first week. Lots going on this month. You had a nice, easy month in August. Guess what? So make sure you read the forecast, okay?
We're going to move on to, is that the third week? Yes, that's
Yes.
the third week of September. Boy, does time fly. It used to be that September was when the kids go back to school. And I don't know about you guys out there, but we go back to school like the second week or some even the first week of August out here. It just leaves your whole timeline just floating in the air there.
Yes, it does.
But we're going to do the week from Sunday the 14th to the Saturday the 20th. And although there's no black box or white circle day, there isn't even a long void of course.
No.
In fact, on the 19th, we've got a 1 minute void of course,
Yep.
which I like them. And so it's just kind of a social week.
Yeah. On the Sunday, the 14th, that moon square sun, you don't figure you're going to get to sit around. Someone's going to find some chore or shopping or project that you're going to need to go do. Okay. It's not going to be a day when you get to sit on the couch and, stream
Watch
movies.
football.
Exactly. Maybe not. Maybe you get to do a little bit, but there's going to be other things you're going to have to get done in the course of the day. Just be prepared for that. The Monday is very chill. The Monday is what the Venus sextile Mars, which is always very pleasant. It means the boys and girls are going to play well together. That's nice. On the 16th, it's a bit more of a social day. The moon is going to go early in the day. It's going to conjunct Jupiter, right? As it moves to the sign of the crab, it's going to conjunct Jupiter. This is always a nice day, I think. Don't you think? I mean, the moon conjunct Jupiter, people feel a little
Definitely.
more emotionally empowered in many ways. They feel like, they just a little more kind of willing to, move. And it's funny because, in different systems, like in Western system, we tend to think of the moon as emotion. But in other systems, they think of the moon as actually the intellect, and they think of it in terms of motion, the actual physical motion. And I think that there's a validity to two of it, because a lot of our emotions are dictated by our emotions, how we feel about things. People, like we always say, people buy things because how they feel about it, not because of the logic.
Absolutely.
And then on the 17th, it's kind of a mixed day. You got, positive and negative aspects to the moon, and you got a Mercury opposite Saturn.
I think that's the bump in the road. That's
Yeah.
There's a little speed bump there, Mercury opposite Saturn, because when the youth bump heads with the authorities, that's maybe they'll have a nice exchange. Oh, I can see your point. Oh, I can see your point, but maybe not. So with Mercury in Virgo,
The light degrees of Virgo.
they're going to think they know it all.
This where the real
And with Saturn is still in Pisces
in late
now.
Pisces, yes.
They might be a little nebulous on the whole thing. So not like a butt heads confrontation kind of thing, but definitely not a meeting of the minds.
You may get a sense of the kids saying, we should be moving on to the next stage, and the grandparents saying, in the good old days, we didn't have this challenge. And the thing is, because Saturn's moving retrograde, while Mercury's moving forward, and it's all happening at the last degrees of a sign. It's like the gateway. It's like things that happen inside doorways.
Right.
They happen at ports. They happen at entrances between countries. It's a very
And when's coming?
it's a very edgy area. You're going through an airport and you're just leaving on some place, and you see a friend just arriving at the same time, and you really you wave and you can say hi, but you can't hang out because you're on schedules.
Places to go, people
Yeah,
to see.
exactly. So that's kind of the feeling you're going to get that day, I think.
So we talked a little bit about it, Mercury entering Libra. And I don't
Moving
mean this
fast.
as a derogatory thing, but allow yourself a little more time
Yes.
to make decisions
Yes.
or to think things over or to weigh all of your options, because that's what Mercury needs to do. If you're pressed to make a decision, you could just be frozen when Mercury is in Libra. Those of you who have Mercury and Libra natally know what I'm talking about. There's always another side. And if you examine all the options thoroughly, you may not get anything done. So
Remember, Libra was the time of year.
use your experts.
After the harvest came in, the goddess of the harvest, Virgo, the harvest came in, it went into the marketplace, and then it was weighed. Because all the people who harvested had to get credit for what they did. Well, if you ever sat there and watched your things be weighed, what do you have to do? You have to wait while the scale goes back and forth and back and forth and back. And finally it settles, but you had to be patient because that's how you know what's fair.
And interestingly, on the 18th, when Mercury changes sign, he's trine or oppose 3 other planets, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune. So when I said use your experts, use that information through those trines and even the opposition, because I call that a teaching aspect, so that you can make your decisions wisely.
Yeah, and Mercury is kind of impatient, so waiting for that scale to settle is not the most comfortable position for Mercury. Now, on the 19th, Venus is going to enter the sign of Virgo, the sign of the great goddess. So once again, passing over the star Regulus at the same time. And Venus in Virgo is what's called traditionally the fall position, but what it is, it's the confidant position. Venus in Virgo was, if you were an actor and you were going on stage every night, when you went back into your dressing room, the person who was your dresser, who did your makeup, who knew all of your secrets, that was your confidant. That was the fall position. That was the person who, was there to listen to your worries and knew the deeper stories of your life.
Anticipate them, yeah.
Exactly. And that, so when the Venus goes into Virgo, it's a very good time to kind of get in touch with those types of sides of your life. Who are the people who do you confide in? Who do you have people you confide in? It's very important to have people you feel you can share with, so they can reflect back, that they can put you back on track. So it's a very interesting position, Venus and Virgo. And then on the 20th, we have what going on?
We have kind of a mixed bag. Jupiter is sextile the moon, but then we've got a square with Venus and Uranus, and the Sun opposed Saturn. Don't try to entertain doing anything significant or heavy. Take the day off and regroup.
Whenever the Sun goes opposite Saturn, it tends to subdue the energy of the Sun. So you may feel right in those 3-4 days before and after, you may feel like kind of a real drop in energy. Consolidate, get grounded, work on that instead.
So let us know how your September went. Make sure you leave a comment and come see us once a week on YouTube.
Yeah.
And we're really excited about the 2026 calendar with
we are.
a couple of new refinements. We
Yes.
said we weren't going to change, but we
made some
a
things
few
better.
refinements, and better is always better, right?
Right.
So see us at planetarycalendar.com. Thanks for being here.